Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what is Global Protect and how does it enhance network security? Your answer should be: Global Protect is a feature of Palo Alto Network's firewall that provides secure remote access to corporate networks for mobile users, branch offices, and partners. It enhances network security by establishing encrypted VPN tunnels, enforcing security policies, and extending threat prevention to remote devices. Our next interview question is: how can you ensure high availability HA in Palo Alto Network's firewall deployment? Your answer should be: high availability in Palo Alto Network's firewall deployment can be ensured by configuring HA pairs with active-passive or active-active modes. This involves synchronizing session and configuration data between firewalls, implementing monitoring and failover mechanisms, and testing failover scenarios regularly. Our next interview question is: what is the purpose of DOS protection policies in Palo Alto Network's firewall? Your answer should be: DOS protection policies in Palo Alto Network's firewall are designed to mitigate denial of service DOS attacks by detecting and blocking excessive or malicious traffic patterns. They help maintain network availability and performance during DOS attacks by applying rate limiting, session tracking, and anomaly detection techniques. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Network's firewall integrate with third-party security solutions? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Network's firewall integrates with third-party security solutions through APIs, that is application programming interfaces, and partner ecosystems. This enables seamless interoperability with SIM, that is security information and event management systems, threat intelligence platforms, endpoint security solutions, and other security products. Our next interview question is: what are the key features of Panorama, the centralized management platform for Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be: Panorama provides centralized management and visibility across multiple Palo Alto Networks firewalls from a single pane of glass. Its key features include centralized configuration management, logging and reporting, software updates, template-based deployment, and role-based access control (RBAC) for administrators. Our next interview question is: what is the purpose of the Palo Alto Network's next generation firewall NGFW? Your answer should be: the purpose of the Palo Alto Network's NGFW is to provide advanced security features such as application visibility and control, threat prevention, and centralized management to protect networks from modern cyber threats. Our next interview question is: can you explain the difference between a traditional firewall and a next generation firewall? Your answer should be: a traditional firewall primarily operates at the network layer, that is layer 3 or 4, based on IP addresses and ports. while a next generation firewall NGFW provides additional capabilities such as application awareness, user identification, and content inspection at deeper layer to offer better security. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: how does Palo Alto Networks support network segmentation and microsegmentation in virtualized environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers VM series firewalls that integrate with virtualization platforms such as VMware, NSX, and Kubernetes to provide east-west traffic visibility, segmentation, and threat prevention in virtualized data centers and cloud environments. Our next interview question is: what role does Palo Alto Networks Cortex XDR play in endpoint security and how does it complement network security? Your answer should be Cortex XDR is Palo Alto Networks extended detection and response platforms that correlates endpoint telemetry with network and cloud data to detect and respond to advanced threats across the entire security infrastructure, providing holistic security coverage. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to cloud applications for remote users? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Global Protect VPN solution offers secure remote access to cloud applications by enforcing consistent security policies and threat prevention mechanisms regardless of the user's location or device. Our next interview question is: can you explain Palo Alto Networks' approach to securing east-west traffic within data centers? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks' VM series firewalls provide advanced threat prevention and microsegmentation capabilities to secure east-west traffic within data centers, allowing organizations to enforce granular security policies and contain lateral movement of threats. Our next interview question is: what are some best practices for managing and monitoring Palo Alto Networks security policies? Your answer should be: best practices include using device groups and templates for centralized policy management, leveraging log forwarding and monitoring features for visibility into policy enforcement, and regularly auditing and optimizing policies based on changing security requirements. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks assist organizations in achieving regulatory compliance requirements such as GDPR or PCI DSS? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks security solutions provide features such as data loss prevention DLP, encryption, and audit logging to help organizations comply with regulatory requirements related to data protection, privacy, and security. Our next interview question is: what is the role of Threat Intelligence Exchange (TIE) in Palo Alto Networks security ecosystem? Your answer should be Threat Intelligence Exchange TIE enables Palo Alto Network's security products to share threat intelligence and coordinate response actions in real time, enhancing threat detection and response capabilities across the entire security infrastructure. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks assist organizations in securing remote work environments, especially in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers remote access solutions such as Global Protect VPN and Prisma Access to ensure secure connectivity for remote workers, along with endpoint security measures to protect devices accessing corporate resources from remote locations. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: how does Palo Alto Networks App ID technology work and why is it important? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks App ID technology identifies and classifies applications traversing the network based on their unique characteristics, including behaviors, not just port numbers. This is important because it allows for precise application level control and enables security policies to be enforced based on application uses rather than just ports. Our next interview question is: what are the key components of Palo Alto Network's security operating platform? Your answer should be the key components include Next Generation Firewall NGFW, Threat Intelligence Cloud, Advanced Endpoint Protection, and Cloud Security. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks wildfire technology help in combating advanced threats? Your answer should be Wildfire employs advanced malware analysis techniques, including static and dynamic analysis, to identify and stop unknown threats in real time. It provides threat intelligence to the entire Palo Alto Networks ecosystem, enhancing the security posture of organizations. Our next interview question is: explain the concept of zero trust security and how Palo Alto Networks supports it. Your answer should be zero trust security assumes that threats could exist both inside and outside the network perimeter. Palo Alto Networks supports Zero Trust by providing granular visibility and control over applications, users, and content regardless of their location, ensuring that trust is never assumed and continuously verified. Our next interview question is: what is user ID and why is it important in network security? Your answer should be user ID associates network activity with specific users or groups, enabling security policies to be applied based on user identity. This is important for enforcing access control, monitoring user behavior, and detecting insider threats effectively. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks implement SSL decryption and what are the benefits? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks NGFW can decrypt and inspect SSL TLS encrypted traffic to detect and prevent threats hidden within encrypted sessions. This provides visibility into encrypted traffic, enhances security effectiveness, and ensures compliance with security policies. Our next interview question is, what role does Panorama play in Palo Alto Network's deployment and management? Your answer should be Panorama is Palo Alto Network's centralized management platform which allows administrators to configure, monitor, and manage multiple firewalls from a single interface. It streamlines management tasks, improves visibility, and ensures consistent security across the network. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to cloud applications and services? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers solutions like Prisma Access, a cloud-delivered secure access service edge SASE platform which provides secure connectivity to cloud applications and services while enforcing consistent security policies regardless of the user's location. Our next interview question is, what role does Palo Alto Networks play in securing software as a service SaaS applications? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offer Prisma SaaS, a cloud delivered security service that provides visibility and control over data and user activity within SaaS applications. It helps organizations prevent data loss, enforce compliance, and protect against threats in SaaS environments. Our next interview question is, can you explain the function of Palo Alto Network's URL filtering and how it contributes to network security? Your answer should be URL filtering categorizes and controls web traffic based on URL categories, allowing organizations to enforce access policies and block malicious or inappropriate websites. It helps prevent users from accessing harmful content and reduces the risk of security incidents. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support high availability and redundancy in firewall deployments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls support high availability HA through features such as active passive and active active HA modes, link and path monitoring, and state synchronization. These features ensure continuous availability and failover in case of hardware or software failures. Our next interview question is, what is the role of Palo Alto Networks Panorama in firewall lifecycle management? Your answer should be Panorama simplifies firewall lifecycle management by providing centralized configuration management, software updates, and monitoring capabilities across distributed firewall deployments. It helps streamline operations and ensure consistent security policies across the network. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing traffic within virtualized environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks VM series firewalls provide virtualized security solutions designed specifically for virtualized and cloud environments. They offer advanced threat prevention, segmentation, and visibility capabilities to protect traffic within virtualized deployments. Our next interview question is: what are some common deployment scenarios for Palo Alto Networks firewalls in enterprise networks? Your answers should be: common deployment scenarios include perimeter security, data center security, branch office security, and cloud security. Palo Alto Networks firewalls can be deployed in various network architectures to provide comprehensive security coverage. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure remote access for mobile users and branch offices? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks Global Protect VPN solution provides secure remote access for mobile users and branch offices by encrypting traffic and authenticating users before allowing access to corporate resources. It ensures that remote connections are secure and compliant with security policies. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what role does role-based access control (RBAC) play in Palo Alto Networks security management? Your answer should be: RBAC allows organizations to define and enforce granular access controls based on user roles and responsibilities, ensuring that only authorized personnel have access to specific features and configurations within Palo Alto Networks security management platforms. Our next interview question is: can you explain the concept of SD-WAN and how Palo Alto Networks integrate security into SD-WAN deployments? Your answer should be: SD-WAN, that is software defined wide area network, simplifies branch connectivity and improves application performance by dynamically routing traffic over multiple links. Palo Alto Networks integrates security into SD-WAN deployments by providing secure SD-WAN solutions that combine routing, VPN, and next-generation security features in a unified platform. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support multi-cloud environments and what are the key security considerations? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks offers Prisma Cloud, a comprehensive security platform for multi-cloud environments, providing visibility, compliance, and threat detection capabilities across public cloud platforms. Key security considerations include data protection, network segmentation, and identity and access management (IAM) controls. Our next interview question is, what are some best practices for optimizing Palo Alto Network's firewall rules and policies? Your answer should be best practices include minimizing the number of rules, grouping similar rules into rule-based sections, using object-based policies for easier management, and regularly reviewing and optimizing policies to remove unused or redundant rules. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support IPv6 in its security solutions? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers comprehensive support for IPv6 in its security solutions, including IPv6 aware security policies, logging, and reporting capabilities, ensuring that organizations can secure both IPv4 and IPv6 traffic effectively. Our next interview question is, what are the key considerations for deploying Palo Alto networks in a high performance data center environment? Your answers should be key considerations include selecting appropriate hardware models with sufficient throughput capacity, designing redundant and resilient architectures, and optimizing security policies to minimize performance impact while maintaining effective threat prevention. Our next interview question is, can you discuss Palo Alto Network's approach to securing IoT and OT, that is operational technology devices in industrial environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks provides specialized security solutions for IoT and OT environments, including IoT security and industrial cybersecurity platforms, offering visibility, segmentation, and threat prevention capabilities tailored to the unique requirements of industrial control systems and IoT devices. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, how does Palo Alto Networks support Zero Trust Network Access ZTNA for secure remote access? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Access offers Zero Trust Network Access ZTNA capabilities, providing secure access to applications based on user identity, device posture, and application context, regardless of the user's location or network. Our next interview question is, what role does Palo Alto Networks behavioral analytics play in threat detection and response? Your answer should be behavioral analytics uses machine learning algorithms to analyze user and entity behavior and detect anomalies indicative of potential security threats, enabling proactive threat detection and rapid response to security incidents. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks assist organizations in securing multi-cloud environments while ensuring compliance and governance? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Cloud provides comprehensive security and compliance capabilities for multi-cloud environments, including continuous compliance monitoring, cloud security posture management (CSPM), and workload protection across public cloud platforms. Our next interview question is, can you explain Palo Alto Network's approach to securing containerized environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Network's Prisma Cloud integrates with container orchestration platforms such as Kubernetes to provide visibility, compliance, and threat prevention for containerized workloads, ensuring security across the entire container lifecycle. Our next interview question is, what are some key considerations for integrating Palo Alto Network's security solutions into DevOps workflows? Your answers should be key considerations include automating security policy deployment using infrastructure as code IAC tools, integrating security testing into CI/CD pipelines, and leveraging APIs for seamless integration with DevOps tools and platforms. Our next interview question is, what are the benefits of implementing Palo Alto Network's Panorama in a distributed network environment? Your answer should be Panorama provides centralized management and visibility across multiple firewalls, simplifying policy management, configuration deployment, and monitoring. It also enhances consistency and scalability in distributed network environments. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support threat hunting and incident response activities? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers features such as log forwarding, customizable alerts, and integration with security orchestration platforms to facilitate threat hunting and incident response activities. It provides visibility into network traffic and security events, enabling analysts to investigate and mitigate threats effectively. Our next interview question is, can you explain the difference between stateful and stateless firewalls, and which type does Palo Alto Networks use? Your answer should be stateful firewalls maintain a state table to track the state of active connections and enforce security policies based on the connection state. Stateless firewalls, also known as packet filtering firewalls, examine individual packets without maintaining connection state. Palo Alto Networks NGFW is a stateful firewall that provides advanced security features beyond traditional stateless packet filtering. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, what is the difference between a Palo Alto Networks virtual system VSYS and a virtual router VR? Your answer should be a virtual system VSYS in Palo Alto Networks firewalls is a logical division of a single physical firewall into multiple virtual firewalls, each with its own configuration and policies. A virtual router VR, on the other hand, is used to route traffic between different interfaces or zones within a single VSYS. Our next interview question is, explain the concept of App ID in Palo Alto Networks firewalls and how it contributes to security. Your answer should be App ID is a feature in Palo Alto Network's firewalls that identifies and controls applications traversing the network regardless of port, protocol, or encryption. It enhances security by allowing administrators to create policies based on specific applications rather than just ports or protocols. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Network's wildfire service contribute to threat prevention? Your answer should be Wildfire is a cloud based service provided by Palo Alto Networks that analyzes files and URLs for malware and other threats. It contributes to threat prevention by identifying and blocking previously unknown threats in real time, using a combination of machine learning and threat intelligence. Our next interview question is: can you explain the purpose of security profiles in Palo Alto Network's firewalls? Your answer should be security profiles in Palo Alto Network's firewalls are used to enforce additional security measures such as antivirus scanning, anti spyware detection, and URL filtering on network traffic. They provide additional layers of protection against various types of threats. Our next interview question is: what is Global Protect and how does it enhance network security for remote users? Your answer should be: Global Protect is a remote access VPN solution provided by Palo Alto Networks. It enhances network security for remote users by encrypting their communications and providing secure access to corporate resources from anywhere while also enforcing security policies and threat prevention measures. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks handle network segmentation and why is it important for security? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks firewalls support network segmentation through the use of zones, virtual systems, VSYS, and security policies. Network segmentation is important for security because it limits the spread of threats within a network and helps contain and mitigate potential breaches. Our next interview question is: what are some common deployment scenarios for Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be: common deployment scenarios for Palo Alto Networks firewalls include perimeter security, data center security, branch office security, and remote access VPNs. Each scenario may require different configurations and security policies to meet specific organizational requirements. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what are the key considerations for implementing Palo Alto Network's Global Protect for Remote Access VPN? Your answer should be: key considerations include defining user authentication and authorization policies, configuring VPN tunnel settings for optimal performance and security, and implementing endpoint security features such as host checking and VPN client enforcement. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks assist organizations in securing email communications and preventing email-based threats? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers email security solutions such as Prisma Email Security, which provides advanced threat protection, anti-phishing, and data loss prevention DLP capabilities to protect against email-based threats and ensure secure communication. Our next interview question is, can you discuss Palo Alto Networks' approach to securing SDN, that is, software defined networking environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers integration with leading SDN platforms and orchestration tools to provide dynamic security policies and enforcement in SDN environments. This ensures that security controls adapt to changes in network infrastructure and application deployment dynamically. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support high performance decryption and inspection of SSL TLS encrypted traffic? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks NGFWs leverage dedicated hardware resources and SSL decryption offload capabilities to ensure high performance while inspecting SSL TLS encrypted traffic for threats. Additionally, selective decryption policies can be applied to prioritize critical traffic for inspection. Our next interview question is, can you explain how Palo Alto Networks implements SDN, that is, software defined networking capabilities, in its security solutions? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks integrates with SDN solutions through APIs and orchestration frameworks to automate network security provisioning, policy enforcement, and threat response based on dynamic changes in the network infrastructure orchestrated by SDN controllers. Our next interview question is, what are some common deployment models for Palo Alto Networks firewalls and how do they differ in terms of scalability and architecture? Your answers should be common deployment models include standalone deployments, virtual system deployments for multi-tenancy, and virtual wired deployments for inline traffic inspection. Each deployment model offers scalability and architectural flexibility to meet different network security requirements. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges associated with securing IoT devices with limited computing resources and proprietary protocols? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks IoT security solutions employs lightweight agents or passive monitoring techniques to profile and secure IoT devices without imposing significant overhead on device resources. It also supports protocol decoders and anomaly detection mechanisms to identify and mitigate threats targeting proprietary IoT protocols. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, How does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to cloud applications and services for remote users? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Access provides secure access service edge SASE capabilities including CASB, that is Cloud Access Security Broker features, Secure Wave Gateway SWG functionality, and Zero Trust Network Access ZTNA controls to secure remote access to cloud applications and services from any location. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks provide visibility and control over encrypted DNS traffic? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks DNS security solution inspects DNS traffic for malicious activities, including command and control communications and data exfiltration using machine learning and behavioral analysis techniques, even if the DNS traffic is encrypted. Our next interview question is: what are some key features of Palo Alto Networks Cortex XDR and how does it enhance threat detection and response capabilities? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Cortex XDR offers endpoint detection and response EDR, network traffic analysis NTA, and threat intelligence capabilities to provide holistic visibility and advanced threat detection across endpoints, networks, and cloud environments, enabling rapid response to sophisticated cyber threats. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to on-premises applications for remote users and partners? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Global Protect provides secure remote access VPN with SSL TLS encryption, multi-factor authentication, MFA, and clientless VPN options, allowing remote users and partners to securely access on-premises applications and resources from any location. Our next interview question is: can you explain how Palo Alto Networks integrates with security information and event management SIEM systems for centralized security monitoring and incident response? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls and security platforms support syslog, SNMP, and RESTful APIs for integration with SIEM systems, enabling real-time log forwarding, threat intelligence sharing, and automated incident response workflows for centralized security monitoring and management. Our next interview question is: what are some key considerations for implementing Zero Trust Network Access ZTNA using Palo Alto Networks Prisma Access? Your answer should be: key considerations include defining granular access policies based on user identity and device posture, implementing multi-factor authentication MFA and adaptive access controls, and leveraging continuous monitoring and analytics to enforce zero trust principles and prevent unauthorized access. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support security automation and orchestration for streamlining incident response workflows? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Cortex XSOAR, formerly Demisto, offers security orchestration, automation, and response SOAR capabilities, allowing organizations to automate repetitive tasks, orchestrate complex security workflows, and integrate with third-party security tools for accelerated incident response and remediation. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what are the benefits of Palo Alto Network's SD-WAN solution and how does it improve network performance and security? Your answer should be Palo Alto Network's SD-WAN solution integrated with NGFW platform provides intelligent traffic steering, application-based routing, and centralized management capabilities. It improves network performance by optimizing traffic flow and enhances security by enforcing consistent security policies across the WAN. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support compliance with regulatory requirements such as GDPR or HIPAA? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls offers features such as application visibility and control, data filtering, and threat prevention, which help organizations meet regulatory requirements by protecting sensitive data, monitoring user activity, and preventing security breaches. Our next interview question is: can you explain Palo Alto Network's approach to network segmentation and its benefits? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks support network segmentation through features like zones, virtual systems, VSYS, and security policies. Network segmentation improves security by isolating network segments and limiting the impact of security incidents or breaches. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing industrial control systems ICS and operational technology OT environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers solutions such as PAN-OS for industrial IoT, which provides visibility, control, and threat prevention capabilities tailored for ICS and OT environments. It helps organizations secure critical infrastructure and industrial assets from cyber threats. Our next interview question is: what are some best practices for integrating Palo Alto Networks firewalls with other security technologies or third-party solutions? Your answer should be: best practices include leveraging APIs for integration, implementing standardized protocols like syslog or SNMP for logging and monitoring, and coordinating security policies and configurations across different security products to ensure interoperability and effectiveness. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support advanced threat detection and response capabilities? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers solutions like Cortex XDR and extended detection and response platform that correlates security telemetry from multiple sources, including endpoints, networks, and clouds, to detect and respond to advanced threats across the entire attack lifecycle. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks prevent evasion techniques employed by attackers to bypass security controls? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks implements multiple layers of security controls, including protocol decoders, stream inspection, and advanced threat detection techniques to thwart evasion attempts and accurately identify and block malicious activities. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, what are the key features of Palo Alto Network's next generation firewalls? Your answer should be Palo Alto Network's next generation firewalls offer features like application based policy enforcement, threat prevention, URL filtering, user identification, and centralized management through Panorama. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks Wildfire contribute to network security? Your answer should be Wildfire provides advanced threat detection and analysis by executing files in a virtual environment to identify and block unknown malware, zero-day exploit, and advanced persistent threats. Our next interview question is, can you explain the process of Palo Alto Network's firewall packet processing? Your answer should be Palo Alto Network's firewall perform packet processing in three main stages: ingress, firewall policy lookup, and egress. During ingress, packets are inspected and classified. Firewall policy lookup determines whether to allow, deny, or forward the packet based on defined policies. Egress stages handles NAT, QoS, and encryption if configured. Our next interview question is, what is the purpose of security zones in Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be security zones define logical groupings of interfaces and provide a simplified method for applying security policies based on network segments, enhancing security and manageability. Our next interview question is, how do you configure SSL decryption on Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be SSL decryption allows inspection of encrypted traffic for threats. Configuration involves creating SSL decryption policies, importing SSL certificates, and specifying decryption rules based on defined criteria. Our next interview question is, explain the role of Panorama in Palo Alto Networks deployments. Your answer should be Panorama is Palo Alto Network's centralized management platform, enabling administrators to efficiently manage multiple firewalls from a single interface, streamline configuration, and enforce consistent security policies across the network. Our next interview question is, what are user ID agents and how do they contribute to network security? Your answer should be user ID agents gather user mapping information from various sources such as Active Directory or eDirectory. This information is then utilized by Palo Alto Networks firewalls to enforce security policies based on user identities rather than just IP addresses. Our next interview question is, how do Palo Alto Networks firewalls handle application-based policies? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls utilize App ID technology to identify and control applications traversing the network, allowing administrators to enforce granular policies based on application characteristics and behaviors. Our next interview question is, what are some common threat prevention techniques used by Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls employ various threat prevention techniques including antivirus scanning, anti-spyware protection, vulnerability protection, and DNS-based sinkholing to mitigate known and unknown threats. Our next interview question is, can you explain the concept of Palo Alto Network's dynamic IP addressing? Your answer should be dynamic IP addressing enables Palo Alto Network's firewalls to dynamically allocate IP addresses to hosts within a defined address range, facilitating easier management and scalability in dynamic network environments. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, what are some key features of Palo Alto Networks NGFWs that facilitate secure access to cloud applications and services for remote users? Your answer should be, key features include Global Protect VPN with SAML integration for single sign-on SSO, application-based access controls, SSL decryption and inspection, and integration with Cloud Access Security Broker CASB solutions for cloud application visibility and control. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support network segmentation and microsegmentation in virtualized environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks virtual firewalls and NSX integration enable organizations to enforce network segmentation and microsegmentation policies at the virtualization layer, ensuring isolation and security between different virtual networks and workloads. Our next interview question is, can you discuss Palo Alto Networks' approach to securing IoT devices and OT networks in industrial environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks IoT security and industrial cybersecurity solutions provide specialized security controls for IoT devices and OT networks, including network segmentation, threat detection, and anomaly monitoring to protect critical infrastructure and operational technology assets from cyber threats. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks Panorama support centralized policy management and configuration management for distributed firewall deployments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Panorama offers centralized policy management, configuration templates, and device groups hierarchies to streamline policy enforcement and configuration deployment across distributed firewall deployments, ensuring consistency and compliance across the network. Our next interview question is: what are some best practices for optimizing Palo Alto Network's firewall performance in high traffic environments? Your answers should be: best practices include hardware sizing based on traffic volume and performance requirements, optimizing security policy rules and rule order, leveraging hardware acceleration features, and implementing traffic shaping and QoS policies to prioritize critical applications. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure connectivity between branch offices and headquarters in a hub and spoke network architecture? Your answers should be: Palo Alto Networks SD-WAN and Prisma Access provide secure connectivity between branch offices and headquarters in a hub and spoke network architecture, offering routing, VPN, and next generation security services for secure and reliable connectivity over any transport. Our next interview question is: can you explain Palo Alto Network's approach to securing email communication and preventing email based threats? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Network's Prisma email provides advanced email security features such as anti-phishing, anti-malware, URL filtering, and data loss prevention DLP to secure email communications and prevent email-based threats such as phishing attacks, ransomware, and business email compromise (BEC). If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: how does Palo Alto Networks Panorama contribute to centralized management and scalability? Your answer should be: Panorama is Palo Alto Network's centralized management platform that provides a single pane of glass for managing multiple firewalls across an organization. It contributes to centralized management and scalability by allowing administrators to deploy consistent security policies, monitor network traffic, and quickly respond to security incidents across distributed environments. Our next interview question is: explain the role of dynamic IP address and port DIPP NAT in Palo Alto Networks firewalls. Your answer should be: dynamic IP address and port DIPP NAT in Palo Alto Networks firewalls is used to translate internal private IP addresses to external public IP addresses dynamically, while also translating the source port numbers. It allows multiple internal devices to share a single public IP address for outbound traffic, while also providing some level of security through port randomization. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks handle high availability and failover in its firewall deployments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls support various high availability HA modes, including active and passive and active active, to ensure continuous operation and minimize downtime in the event of hardware or software failures. HA configurations typically involve synchronized state information and failover mechanisms to maintain network connectivity and security. Our next interview question is: what are some best practices for optimizing and securing Palo Alto Networks firewall deployments? Your answer should be some best practices for optimizing and securing Palo Alto Networks firewall deployments include regularly updating threat and application signatures, configuring security policies with least privilege access, enabling logging and monitoring for visibility, conducting regular security audits and assessments, and following vendor recommendations and industry standards for security hardening. Our next interview question is: what is the purpose of a zone protection profile in Palo Alto Networks firewall? Your answer should be a zone protection profile in Palo Alto Networks firewall is used to protect network zones against various types of attacks such as SYN flood, UDP flood, ICMP flood, etc. It helps in mitigating denial of service DOS attacks by monitoring and controlling the traffic entering or leaving specific network zones. Our next interview question is: how do you configure NAT, that is network address translation, on a Palo Alto Networks firewall? Your answer should be NAT configuration on a Palo Alto Networks firewall involves defining NAT policies that specify source and destination zones, addresses, and translation types such as static NAT, dynamic NAT, or destination NAT. NAT policies are then applied to security rules to control traffic flow. Our next interview question is: what is the function of security profiles in Palo Alto Networks firewall? Your answer should be security profiles in Palo Alto Networks firewall provide additional layers of security by inspecting and analyzing traffic for threats such as viruses, malware, and intrusion attempts. These profiles include features like antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, file blocking, and wildfire analysis. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what role does Palo Alto Networks play in securing containerized applications and microservices architectures? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks CN series firewall provides containerized security services for securing containerized applications and microservice architectures, including runtime protection, network segmentation, and threat prevention for inter-container traffic within Kubernetes environments. Our next interview question is: can you discuss Palo Alto Networks' approach to securing IoT devices and OT networks in healthcare environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers specialized security solutions for healthcare environments, including IoT security and industrial cybersecurity platforms to secure IoT devices and OT networks, protect patient data, and ensure compliance with healthcare regulations such as HIPAA. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to on premises applications for remote contractors and third party vendors? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Global Protect offers clientless VPN options such as SSL VPN and HTML5 VPN, allowing remote contractors and third party vendors to securely access on premises applications and resources without requiring a client side VPN agent. Our next interview question is: what are some key features of Palo Alto Networks Cortex Expanse and how does it enhance asset discovery and security posture management? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Cortex Expanse provides continuous asset discovery and inventory management, real-time visibility into internet-facing assets, and risk assessment capabilities to enhance security posture management and reduce the attack surface of organizations' digital footprints. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to cloud applications for branch offices and remote sites? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Access offers cloud delivered secure access service edge SASE capabilities, including SD-WAN integration, VPN connectivity, and cloud security controls to provide secure access to cloud applications for branch offices and remote sites from any location. Our next interview question is: can you explain how Palo Alto Networks integrates with identity providers IDPs for user authentication and access control? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks integrates with identity providers such as Active Directory, LDAP, and SAML based identity providers for users authentication and access control, enabling organizations to enforce granular access policies based on user identity and group membership. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing legacy systems and outdated infrastructure? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers virtual patching capabilities through threat prevention policies, segmentation controls, and network-based security controls to protect legacy systems and outdated infrastructure against known vulnerabilities and cyber threats. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to business critical applications hosted on public cloud platforms? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Access provides cloud delivered security services, including Secure Wave Gateway SWG functionality, DNS security, and Zero Trust Network Access ZTNA controls to secure access to business critical applications hosted on public cloud platforms such as AWS, Azure, and GCP. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: how does Palo Alto Networks Firewall handle application identification and control? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Firewall uses App ID technology to identify and control applications traversing the network, regardless of port protocol or encryption. It uses a combination of methods including signature-based protocol decoders and behavioral analysis to accurately identify applications. Our next interview question is: what are the benefits of using user ID in Palo Alto Networks Firewall? Your answer should be user ID in Palo Alto Networks Firewall enables granular policy enforcement based on users and groups rather than just IP addresses. It enhances security by allowing administrators to create policies that consider user identity, providing better visibility and control over network activity. Our next interview question is: explain the difference between a threat prevention policy and a security policy in Palo Alto Networks Firewall. Your answer should be: a threat preventing policy in Palo Alto Networks Firewall focuses on preventing and mitigating known threats by applying security profiles such as antivirus, anti-spyware, and vulnerability protection. On the other hand, a security policy controls the traffic flow based on criteria like source destination zones, addresses, applications, users, and services. Our next interview question is: how does SSL decryption work in Palo Alto Networks Firewall? Your answer should be: SSL decryption in Palo Alto Networks Firewall involves intercepting SSL TLS encrypted traffic, decrypting it to inspect the content for threats, and then re-encrypting it before forwarding. It requires deploying SSL decryption policies along with SSL certificate management to ensure secure traffic handling. Our next interview question is: what is the purpose of a virtual wire interface in Palo Alto Networks Firewall? Your answer should be: a virtual wire interface in Palo Alto Networks Firewall is used to transparently bridge traffic between two or more network segments without routing. It allows for passive monitoring, inline threat prevention, and deep packet inspection without changing the network topology. Our next interview question is: how do you troubleshoot connectivity issues on a Palo Alto Networks firewall? Your answer should be: troubleshooting connectivity issues on a Palo Alto Networks firewall involves checking interface status, routing tables, security policies, NAT configurations, and logs. Utilizing tools like packet captures, traffic logs, and CLI commands such as show, debug, and test can help identify and resolve issues. Our next interview question is: explain the concept of security zones in Palo Alto Networks Firewall. Your answer should be: security zones in Palo Alto Networks Firewall are logical groupings of interfaces that represent different trust levels within the network. They help enforce security policies based on the level of trust associated with each zone, allowing for effective segmentation and control of network traffic. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: what role does threat prevention play in Palo Alto Networks NGFW, and how does it enhance security? Your answer should be: threat prevention provides proactive protection against known and unknown threats by leveraging multiple security engines such as IPS, antivirus, and DNS security to detect and prevent various types of attacks, including exploits, malware, and command and control communications. Our next interview question is: can you explain the difference between static and dynamic routing in Palo Alto Networks firewall deployment? Your answer should be: static routing involves manually configuring routing tables, while dynamic routing protocols such as OSPF or BGP allow routers to exchange routing information dynamically. Palo Alto Networks firewalls support both static and dynamic routing to facilitate network communication and failover scenarios. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks ensure high availability and resiliency in network deployments? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks offers features such as active passive and active active HA configurations, link and device monitoring, and session synchronization to ensure high availability and resiliency in network deployments, minimizing downtime and maintaining continuous security coverage. Our next interview question is: what are some common integration points for Palo Alto Networks NGFW with other security solutions? Your answers should be: common integration points include SIEM platforms for centralized logging and analysis, endpoint security solutions for threat intelligence sharing, and orchestration platforms for automated incident response and policy enforcement across the security infrastructure. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges associated with securing software as a service SaaS applications? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks Prisma SaaS provides comprehensive security controls for SaaS applications, including visibility, data loss prevention (DLP), and compliance enforcement, helping organizations protect sensitive data and mitigate risks associated with cloud adoption. Our next interview question is: what is the purpose of user ID redistribution in Palo Alto Networks Panorama? Your answer should be: user ID redistribution allows Panorama to share user to IP mapping information and manage firewalls, ensuring consistent user-based policies across the network and enabling granular access control based on user identity. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks handle threat intelligence and incorporate it into its security solutions? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks leverages threat intelligence from various sources, including its own global threat research team, industry partnerships, and community collaboration to continuously update its security solutions with the latest threat indicators and prevention mechanisms. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, what are the advantages of Palo Alto Network's subscription based licensing model for security services? Your answer should be subscription based licensing ensures that organizations have access to the latest threat prevention capabilities and feature enhancements without the need for additional hardware upgrades. It also provides flexibility in scaling security services according to changing business needs. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing traffic in a hybrid cloud environment? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers Prisma Access, a cloud-delivered security platform which extends consistent security policies and threat prevention capabilities to remote users and branch offices accessing applications in hybrid cloud environments. It provides secure access to both cloud and on-premises resources without compromising security posture. Our next interview question is, can you discuss Palo Alto Networks' approach to securing network traffic in IoT environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks' IoT security platform provides comprehensive visibility and control over IoT devices, including IoT discovery, behavioral analysis, and anomaly detection capabilities. It enables organizations to enforce security policies and protect against IoT specific threats in IoT environments. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks assist organizations in achieving regulatory compliance requirements? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers compliance reporting features and templates tailored to various regulatory frameworks such as GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS. It helps organizations demonstrate compliance by providing audit-ready reports and ensuring adherence to regulatory requirements through security policies and controls. Our next interview question is, what are some best practices for configuring Palo Alto Networks firewall to mitigate DDoS attacks? Your answer should be best practices include enabling DDoS protection features such as DOS protection profiles, SYN cookies, and zone protection to mitigate various types of DDoS attacks. Additionally, leveraging threat intelligence feeds and integrating with DDoS scrubbing services can enhance resilience against volumetric attacks. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support encrypted traffic inspection without compromising privacy or performance? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks NGFW uses SSL decryption and inspection capabilities to analyze encrypted traffic for threats while preserving privacy through policy-based decryption controls. Hardware acceleration and optimized decryption techniques ensure minimal impact on performance during traffic inspection. Our next interview question is: can you discuss Palo Alto Network's approach to securing east-west traffic within data center environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Network's VM series firewalls offers advanced threat prevention and segmentation capabilities for securing east-west traffic within data center environments. Microsegmentation policies can be applied based on workload attributes to prevent lateral movement of threads and enforce access controls between application tiers. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing branch office connectivity in SD-WAN deployments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers integrated SD-WAN and security solutions that combine routing, VPN, and threat prevention capabilities in a single platform. This ensures secure branch office connectivity while simplifying management and reducing operational overhead. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: can you discuss Palo Alto Network's approach to securing cloud native applications and infrastructure in Kubernetes environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Cloud Compute, formerly Twistlock, provides container security capabilities for securing Kubernetes clusters and cloud-native applications, including vulnerability management, runtime protection, compliance assurance, and workload protection across the entire CI/CD pipeline. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks support secure access to corporate resources for BYOD, that is, bring your own device users? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Global Protect offers client-based and clientless VPN options with user-based policies, device profiling, and context-aware access controls, allowing BYOD users to securely connect to corporate resources while enforcing security policies based on user identity and device posture. Our next interview question is: what role does Palo Alto Networks play in securing industrial control systems ICS and SCADA networks? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks provide specialized security solutions such as PAN-OS for ICS to secure industrial control systems and SCADA networks against cyber threats including malware, ransomware, and targeted attacks while ensuring operational resilience and regulatory compliance. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges associated with securing cloud workload migrations and hybrid cloud environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Prisma Cloud offers cloud security posture management, CSPM, workload protection, and cloud native application security capabilities for securing cloud workload migrations and hybrid cloud environments, providing visibility, compliance, and threat prevention across multi-cloud deployments. Our next interview question is: what are some common deployment architectures for Palo Alto Networks firewalls in a data center environment, and how do they differ in terms of scalability and redundancy? Your answers should be: common deployment architectures include single firewall, high availability, that is active passive or active active pairs, and virtual systems for multi tenancy. Each architecture offers scalability and redundancy features to meet specific performance and availability requirements. Our next interview question is: how does Palo Alto Networks threat prevention engine detect and prevent advanced threats, including zero-day exploits and malware? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks threat prevention engine employs multiple techniques such as signature-based detection, behavioral analysis, machine learning, and threat intelligence integration to identify and block advanced threats in real time, including zero-day exploits and previously unknown malware. Our next interview question is: can you explain the role of URL filtering in Palo Alto Networks security policies and how it helps mitigate web-based threats? Your answer should be: URL filtering in Palo Alto Networks security policies categorizes and controls web traffic based on URL categories, allowing organizations to enforce access controls, prevent access to malicious websites, and mitigate web-based threats such as phishing, malware downloads, and command and control communications. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is: how does Palo Alto Networks handle network segmentation and microsegmentation? Your answer should be: Palo Alto Networks firewalls support network segmentation by creating security policies based on application, user, and content to control traffic flow between network segments. Microsegmentation further enhances security by dividing network assets into smaller, isolated zones with stringent access controls. Our next interview question is: what are the benefits of integrating Palo Alto Networks firewalls with threat intelligence feeds? Your answer should be: integrating threat intelligence feeds with Palo Alto Networks firewalls enhances security by providing real-time information about emerging threats, enabling proactive blocking of malicious activities, and reducing the attack surface. Our next interview question is: how do you troubleshoot connectivity issues on Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be: troubleshooting connectivity issues involves verifying configuration settings, checking traffic logs for denied traffic, utilizing packet capture tools, and examining system logs for errors or warnings. Our next interview question is, what role does the Palo Alto Networks support portal play in firewall management? Your answer should be the Palo Alto Networks Support Portal provides access to software updates, technical documentation, knowledge base articles, and support resources, aiding administrators in firewall deployment, configuration, and troubleshooting. Our next interview question is, how do Palo Alto Networks firewall facilitate secure remote access for users? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks Global Protect offers secure remote access solutions including VPN connectivity, clientless VPN access, and integration with multi-factor authentication methods, ensuring secure access to corporate resources from anywhere. Our next interview question is, what is Palo Alto Networks and what makes their approach to network security unique? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks is a cybersecurity company that provides advanced firewall solutions. Their approach, known as the Next Generation Security Platform, integrates a variety of security features into a single platform, including advanced threat prevention, application visibility and control, and SSL decryption. Our next interview question is, can you explain the purpose of zone protection profiles in Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be zone protection profiles in Palo Alto Networks firewalls are used to enforce security policies at the zone level. They protect against various types of network-based attacks such as SYN floods, port scans, and IP spoofing. Our next interview question is, what is user ID and how does it enhance security in Palo Alto Networks firewalls? Your answer should be user ID is a feature in Palo Alto Networks firewalls that maps IP addresses to users or user groups. It enhances security by allowing administrators to create policies based on user identity rather than just IP addresses, enabling more granular control over network traffic. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks handle SSL decryption and why is it important for security? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks firewalls can decrypt SSL traffic to inspect it for threats, then re-encrypt it and send it to its destination. This is important for security because it allows organizations to inspect encrypted traffic for malicious content or unauthorized activities. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below. Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for Palo Alto Network Security Engineer PCNSE. You can download the complete list of Palo Alto based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on PCNSE is, how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges associated with securing cloud environments? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks offers cloud-native security solutions such as Prisma Cloud, which provides comprehensive security controls for cloud workloads, containers, and serverless applications. It enables organizations to extend consistent security policies across their hybrid and multi-cloud environments. Our next interview question is, can you explain the difference between URL filtering and content ID in Palo Alto Networks NGFW? Your answer should be URL filtering categorizes and controls web traffic based on URL categories, while Content ID inspects web content in real time, including the full URL to identify and block malicious content regardless of the category it belongs to. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks address the challenges of securing IoT devices on the network? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks IoT security solution provides comprehensive visibility and control over IoT devices by profiling device behavior, enforcing segmentation policies, and detecting anomalous activities. This helps organizations mitigate the risk associated with IoT devices on their network. Our next interview question is, what are the benefits of using Palo Alto Networks Global Protect for Remote Access VPN? Your answer should be Global Protect offers secure remote access to corporate resources for users regardless of their location or device. It provides VPN connectivity with advanced security features such as multi-factor authentication, device posture assessment, and threat prevention. Our next interview question is, how does Palo Alto Networks support network segmentation and why is it important? Your answer should be Palo Alto Networks supports network segmentation through virtual systems, VSYS, zones, and security policies, allowing organizations to enforce different security controls based on network segments. Segmentation enhances security by containing threats and limiting the lateral movement of attackers within the network. Our next interview question is, what are some best practices for optimizing Palo Alto Networks NGFW performance? Your answer should be best practices include optimizing security policies, leveraging hardware acceleration features, implementing SSL decryption selectively, and regularly monitoring performance metrics to identify and address any bottlenecks in the network security infrastructure. Our next interview question is, what is the purpose of Palo Alto Networks Threat Prevention subscription and how does it enhance network security? Your answer should be the Threat Prevention subscription provides advanced protection against known and unknown threats such as viruses, malware, and exploits. It utilizes multiple security engines, including IPS, antivirus, and file blocking, to detect and prevent a wide range of cyber threats. If you are preparing for any Palo Alto based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below.